Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. I'm going to be sharing inspiration using Simon Says Stamp's Beautiful Days release. And because this video is also part of Simon Says Stamp's Beautiful Days release blog hop, there is a free gift with purchase available. You can get the Flower Garden Emboss and Cut folder free with any purchase of $30 or more. Just use the code BUD. You also could get $5 off your purchase of $5 or more. That code is Easter. Now, you can't use the two codes together, so you do have to pick and choose, but there's some nice savings options going on this weekend as part of the hop. So in today's video, we're going to be making a project using embossing folders and Simon Says Stamp's new Pastel Color Blend Cardstock. I'm really excited about this cardstock because I actually designed the cardstock, both the pastel color blends and the original color blend cardstocks, both available exclusively at Simon Says Stamp. So those are very, very near and dear to my heart, and I hope you like them just as much as I love how they turned out. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I used those papers with some of my favorite embossing folders, and I'll also be using some other new products from the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Days release. Okay, so here are the pastel color blends. You get 8 sheets of different colors of cardstock. These are glossy surface cardstocks, which means they're perfect for die cutting, embossing, that you can use them with hot foil plates. But today we're talking about embossing folders. And this is the look that we're going for. See how beautiful this embosses. It's so pretty, it's deeply etched. And if you notice, there's a little bit of a glitter effect on these, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So we got to start first with the paper. Now I recommend that you mist this paper, just put a little mist of water in the air and wave your paper through it. It helps keep the paper from cracking. We're going to stick this inside of our embossing folder, and then we're going to run this through our die cut machine. I'm using a Big Shot for this, but whatever machine you have, go ahead and run that through with the sandwich required. And then here we have our beautiful embossed background. It's so pretty just the way it is, but we're going to enhance it, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to emboss another one here. This one is the ginkgo leaves. I think this one's so pretty. And I picked one of the yellow to orange color combinations for this sheet. Okay, here's where the magic happens. We're going to take an embossing ink pad and start dragging this across our paper on the raised surfaces only. So don't press too hard. You just want to kind of get a little bit of ink on those raised surfaces. And now you may have a few spots where it catches on some of the non-raised areas of the paper, but we're generally trying to hit just the raised. And I'll just brush off any excess that might be sitting in the negative spaces. And for this, I used a clear glitter embossing powder. This one happened to be Fairy Dust from Brutus Monroe, but any clear glitter embossing powder will work for this. We're now heat setting that glitter embossing powder that we applied on top of our background, and that's going to give us a beautiful glossy, glittery finish on top of this glossy paper. Here I'm doing the same thing to the ginkgo leaves, and again I'll brush off any powder where I don't want it, tap off the excess, and then set this with my heat tool. I love how this adds to the glossy finish of the paper, but it captures that glitter in between, which looks amazing. I love how it catches the light. So you can see here on the ginkgo leaves, the nice little added sparkle that we have. It's so much fun. And so I've done this to all 3 of my backgrounds here. Now it's time to decide what to do for sentiments. Now I picked out a whole bunch of different things from the new Beautiful Days release. I didn't end up choosing the Mother's Day sentiments, and I actually stuck with the sister greetings. And the reason I did so is because I actually have 2 sisters, and I love sending them handmade cards, and so I thought I would end up using these to send to them. So that's why I ended up choosing that stamp set as my sentiments of choice. But you could turn these into birthday cards, thank you cards, you name it. It could be anything. Now, I stamped some of my sentiments with Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Inks. I did one of them with some gold embossing powder. I love Simon's Antique Gold Embossing Powder, and it gives such a nice warmth to the card. I'll end up using this one on the purple and pink card. This one here, the Lucky to Have a Sister Like You, I stamped this one with another Positively Saturated ink, and I was trying to pick colors that would work well with my backgrounds. I'm pulling out some Simon Says Stamp Luxe Glitter Cardstock in the new Leafy Sprig die. I actually designed the Leafy Sprig die as well. And I'm going to die cut that from some of this Luxe Glitter Cardstock. These are going to get layered on top of my cards, and I just used some foam tape to attach these pieces down. So I attached my sentiment onto the leafy layers just to pick them up, and then I stuck a little bit of foam tape on the back side of the leaves to attach those down. The silver glitter looked beautiful on these cool tones for the green and the blue. And I used some foam tape on the backside of each of my background panels to attach them onto white card bases. Here's where I chose that pink greeting, and I thought it would look really pretty down along the bottom of that ginkgo leaf background, and the warm gold glitter leaf looks so pretty as a little accent off to the left of the sentiment. Finally, for my purple and pink card, I picked that beautiful gold embossed sentiment, and then I'm going to add a secondary greeting underneath with the new everyday acetate sentiment strips. These are so much fun. Simon's acetate sentiment strips are perfect for using with toner foils, and I'm going to cut this little piece of toner foil down. These are the sentiment strips. You get 2 of each sheet. There's 2 different sets of sentiments, and these are great for all year round. Birthdays, love, hugs and kisses, missing you name it. It's got everything. And I'm going to lay my acetate sentiment strip into my carrier sheet from ThermoWeb along with my toner foil and then a sheet of cardstock on top. Sometimes, depending on your machine, you might need a shim, and my machine has a tendency to like to do so. And I also find that if you have something layered on top of your sentiment strips and foil, it actually keeps the foil from shifting and bubbling up inside of the laminator. So here I've removed the foil to reveal the beautiful sentiment, and then I'll just cut this down and stick it right underneath my greeting that I already have here. I think it pairs really nicely with that love you sister greeting, and I'll just use my scissors to trim this down a little bit. Finally, you could have left the cards as is, but I'm stepping it up just a tad more with a few sequins. I picked out a bunch of different sequin mixes. These beautiful rose gold sequins from Simon's Stamp were pretty on the Ginkgo's card. This purple mix I love. I think those purples and pinks are pairing up so beautifully with the color blends. And then finally I have this other mix of blues and teals that looks really nice against the color blend cardstock as well. And I'm using Simon's new Place and Score tool, which has a wax tip on it, to attach my greetings to my cards. Alrighty, so there you have it. My cards featuring not only the new Pastel Color Blend Cardstock from Simon's Stamp, but what's really fun about these cards is that we added a little bit of something extra special to the embossing with that embossing glitter on top. I think it's really fun. It adds a really cool, unexpected touch to these cards and enhances the backgrounds that much more. I hope you were inspired by these cards. Don't forget to stop by my blog for more information about the blog hop. You can also find still pictures there. There's links to the products down below in the video description or on my blog as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will be back soon with more to share. But until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.